Hi everyone, welcome back to the primary language course with Mrs. Branch. This is video lesson 2 and today we're going to be using our sandpaper letters to study M, A, S, and T. Lucy's here because she loves language and I know you do too and I do too, so let's go have some fun. So the first thing we're going to do is get out our materials. So today what you're going to need are your glue letters that should be nice and dry by now. The ones that you need are N, let me find my N, M, A, S, and T. The rest of them, if you have them in a little bag, you can just put them to the side. You're also going to need a pencil, your journal that came with your supply packet or any other kind of paper, and you're going to need your supply packet. In your supply packet, you're going to look through until you find the alphabet handwriting book. We don't need this first page, so that one can go back in. But the handwriting book itself looks like this, has a little fox on the front. If you want, you can write your name right there. And we're just going to pull out the 4 pages we need. So we need the M page. I think you've already probably guessed we are going to practice writing our letters today. So there's the M page. I'm going to pull up M. And then we also need A, to be just the first one. We need S, and we need T. And those are right next to each other in the alphabet. S and T. Let's get those out and set them to the side. Let me go over my materials one more time that you're going to need. We need a lot of stuff today. So we have... see if we can move the computer so we can see. So we have our journal, our pencil, our handwriting sheets, and then our letters. M-A-S-T. So I'll go ahead and put you on pause. You put me on pause. Go get your materials and come back. Okay, welcome back. Thank you for putting me back on play. We have all of our materials and now we're ready to... Ooh, that was loud, sorry. We're ready to get started. So first, let me move these materials just to the side. And you see I am keeping my journal and my pencil because we're going to start our first sight words. And remember, sight words are words that you have to look at and memorize. You can't sound them out. They have kind of funny spellings and they sound differently than what their letters look like sometimes. It's important for us to learn sight words so that when we're reading, we can recognize them and we can read and write them. So let's talk about journal. In a journal, we want to make sure that we're opening it up just like a book. So the spine of the book is going to go on my right because when I open it up, I want to be able to see it open just like a book. So my journal already has a whole bunch of writing in it, so I'm going to turn to the page that is next. Whenever you have a journal, you want to open it like a book, and then you want to go one page at a time in order. If you start a journal and your pages are all over the place, it's going to be hard to find your work. So all of these pages I have already been written on, so this is my next page. And I can use this page for our sight words today, and then I can also keep it if it has empty space. I can use that space. But the most important thing is when I'm done with this page today, I'll turn it for this one tomorrow. That way I'm going in order. So for our sight words, let's get our pencil ready next to our journal. I'm going to show you, we're only going to do one today, and it's the most popular word in the world. So let's see if you remember what it is. It's the word the. So we're going to write the word the together. Let me bring my journal over. On the word the, I'm going to write it in cursive right here so that you can write it in your journal in cursive too. This one is in print. For the T, I'm going to go up and stop, straight down, big hoop, bump, swoosh. On my T, I always want to make sure I cross my T. I would like you to write the word the with me. So if you can get out your journal, let's just spend a little bit of time together writing the word the in cursive. One thing that can help when you're writing it is if you say the, it will help your brain remember this is the word the. 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 So go ahead and write it. I have it 5 times. Will you write the word the 5 times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this is a little bit too hard, it's okay to go forward and skip this part. But if you could try at least once, that would be really good. That's good work to try it at least once. If you need to pause the video and write it, that's fine to do too. Just push play whenever you're done. Let's put our journal to the side. We're done with our sight word the. Goodbye, the. So now it's time to move on to our lesson. So let's get out our sandpaper letters, our blue letters, and let's put them in order. M, A, S, and T. Mine are going to be backwards for me, but yours should be facing you so that you can see them. So what I'm going to do with these letters is I'm going to trace them the same exact way we trace our sandpaper letters in class. If you remember the lesson, you know that you have to get your fingers ready. So take your 2 fingers, your 2 tracing fingers, and this is going to be on the hand that you write with. So if you're left-handed, you're going to do these. But if you're right-handed, you're going to do these 2 fingers. And you're going to take them and rub them against some fabric, maybe your jeans or your sweater or a rug or the carpet, and that's called getting fingers ready. So let's get our fingers ready. Now, whenever we trace them, we know that we have one hand on it to keep it steady, and then we have our 2 tracing fingers. So I'm going to trace it standing up first so that you can see the motion, and then I'll show you how to do it laying down. I'm going to start right here. Mmm. 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 Next, let's look at A. And remember, you'll get your chance to do it after the lesson in the you do part. So this part is where I just want you to watch and listen. So A is a cool letter. It has some instructions. So I have my 2 fingers, up and stop, down, around, and out. Ah. This sound is like when you're eating an apple. Pretend like you have an apple in your hand and you're going to make your mouth pretty big and say, ah, ah, like you're about to take a bite. Up and stop, down, around, out. Ah. 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 Now let's look at this sound. This is the sound S. And I bet some of you thought, that sounds like a snake. That's right, this is the sound a snake makes. This one goes up to the top, down in front, and out. S. S. all the way up, all the way down. Fingers come off and then cross. Don't ever forget to cross your T's, but that comes last. Up and stop, all the way down, across. T. 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 So let's go ahead and move this into the you do part. And I would like you to pause the video and go ahead and practice and trace each of these sounds 3 times. Press play when you're finished. Okay, welcome back. So you probably pressed play because you had me on pause and you traced your sounds 3 times each. So let's just see what these sounds are. Can you say that with me? Ah. Ah. You say this one with me too? S. S. You say this one with me too? T. T. I have something else to show you for our lesson. Oh, this is kind of heavy. This is my sound bag. In my classroom, my sound bag is really little. This one's big. But I wanted to show you what kind of sounds I found around my house that match these sounds. Oops, that's upside down. Let's try that. Ah, ah. S. T. T. I have all my sounds laid out. I'm going to reach into my bag and see what I find. Oh, scissors. Scissors. Do you think that scissors starts with the sound ah, s, or t? Scissors. Scissors starts with s. See what else I have in here. Ooh. Tape. 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 Does tape start with the sound ah, s, or t? Tape. Tape starts with the sound t. Markers. 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 Does the word markers start with ah, s, or t? Markers. Markers starts with the sound Spoon. Does spoon start with ah, s, or t? Spoon starts with the sound s. What is this? Oh, sock. A stinky sock. Does sock start with ah, s, or t? Sock starts with s. Apple. Apple. Does apple start with a, s, or t? Apple starts with a. Towel. T, towel. Does towel start with a, s, or t? Towel starts with t. So as you can see, we have all of our sounds and the objects from our house all sorted out. I want you to remember what you see right here, because for the challenge today, I will be challenging you to do your hunt just like this. Before we do that, let me clean this up because we have some writing to do and then we'll get to our challenge. So while I'm putting this away, let's think of other words that start with those same sounds. Maybe you have a friend whose name starts with The word mom starts with I wonder if you have a friend whose name starts with a. Do you have a friend whose name starts with the sound s? How about the sound t? Do you have a friend whose name starts with t? So for this next part of the lesson, we're going to still need our pencil. We're going to get out our handwriting sheets. And our handwriting sheets are really good for kiddos who have their tracing down and they know the sound. So if you still need some time doing your sound and making sure that you're tracing the letter in the correct way, because we trace it just the same way as we write it, it's okay to go back and watch this video again and keep practicing. But if you're ready to practice writing, we can go ahead and start with So find your page that says Let's write the letter M. Whenever you have writing paper that looks like this, it has 3 lines. The bottom line is the ground. The dots in the middle are the mountains. And up here, the top line is the sky. Whenever we write lowercase letters, they usually stay in between the ground and the mountains. So if you hear me talk about the ground, the mountains, or the sky, I'm talking about these 3 lines. So we know when we trace an M, it starts at the bottom and goes bump, 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 out. And that's exactly how we're going to write it. Bump, 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 out. You can see a little arrow right here, and you can trace it like this. Trace right on top of the letter. And then down here, you can trace the dots and trace them all the way across. Down here where the lines are blank is where you get to write them by yourself. So I'll write some of mine and show you what I have. I'm going to make sure I fill up this line all the way to the edge. So this line is done. This line will need to be done also. Down here it says trace the words. This is a picture of what? What do you see right there? Yeah, some cheese and mice. This word is the word mice. So then I would trace over the word mice. The words down here are always going to match their pictures. What does this look like? A map. So then I can trace the word map. this looks like a cup, but this is actually called a mug. Since we're doing our M's, this is a mug. Let's trace the word mug. And this looks like a mat. Mat. So let's trace the word mat. And really, this is a good practice for anyone working on their handwriting because we can all use some handwriting help. I'm erasing mine to make it even nicer and neat. The more I can stay on the dots, the more I can make my handwriting look really, really good. So that's the next part of your lesson, is to do your worksheets today for M, A, S, and T. Now, if you're ready for your challenge, after you do your handwriting sheets, I want you to see if you can find things from your house that start with the sound A, S, and T. If you want, you can lay out your sandpaper letters on your work spot just like I did, and then find things around your house that start with that. That's your challenge today. Remember, you don't ever have to do the challenge. It's just in case if you want to. So before you are done with language today, make sure you finish your handwriting pages and make sure to do the challenge of a sound hunt if you would like to. Today was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you for our next video, and we'll go over some more sounds. See you later.